How's everyone feeling this morning? Everybody still energetic? Hopefully you've had your fiber and you have energy this morning. No, that's a bad joke. Next, we'd like to start our Operator Light Talks. These are really exciting talks that we got really great feedback from and excited to have these again. So our first Operator Light Talk today for Accelerating Fiber in America is Eric Leah, who's the Senior Vice President of Engineering for Verizon. Please welcome Eric.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Great. First, I'd just like to thank the Fiber Broadband Association for having me here today. I can't tell you guys really how excited I am to be here with all of you today. This is something I have a lot of passion about, I really love, and I've been fortunate enough in my career to work on for over 20 plus years. Broadband and fiber. And there we go. I want you to imagine a world where access to information isn't a luxury, but it's a core privilege, where opportunities for education, healthcare, economic prosperity, higher quality of life, and community growth aren't determined by your zip code or your geographic location. Broadband isn't just about faster speeds. Broadband levels the playing field and unlocks growth potential for our communities everywhere. For rural businesses, they gain access to global and national markets. They gain access to broader talent pools through remote work arrangements. They gain access to alternative funding sources to grow their businesses, all while stimulating local economies. For students in rural America, they gain access to online learning, virtual classrooms, and educational resources that aren't available to them locally. Not only does it open up educational opportunity for them, but it actually prepares them to be prosperous in our digital economy. And for families in rural America, they get access to increased job opportunities, enhanced access to healthcare professionals and treatment options, and countless other cost-saving benefits. Whether it's paying your bills online, whether it's reduced commuting expenses, whether it's access to lower costs and services over the internet, these are all benefits, and they go on and on. Broadband has the potential to improve the quality of life for residents in rural America, really beyond what we can imagine today. It not only lays the infrastructure and foundation to attract residents and new businesses, but it actually increases the social connectivity and allows rural Americans to take advantage of these benefits, and it empowers them in their own homes and in their own towns. Broadband, so it may not be a core privilege today, but it's fast becoming that. It's certainly a pathway to prosperity for many. Broadband is a bridge to empowerment and equality. Okay, so if broadband is that pathway, I think we all can agree in here, we know fiber is critical to great broadband. Okay? So what do we need? We need a lot more fiber. We need it deeper and deeper into our rural communities, and we need it as fast as we can get it there. And even when we don't have fiber all the way to our homes or small businesses, we know those networks are powered by fiber. So where are we today? 8.8 million households are still unserved or underserved. 15% of households with school-aged children don't have access to the internet. 17% of students complain they can't complete their homework because they don't. And when we do have access, 27% of adults don't subscribe to home broadband. Half of those say it's because of cost. So as you've heard today a couple times, this isn't just a build story. This isn't just a build problem. Look, adoption, affordability, and accessibility. If we really want broadband to be transformative for these communities, we need all three. So what are we doing about it? At Verizon, we've rolled out a commitment to help vulnerable communities and bridge the digital divide. As part of our responsible business investment, we're investing over $3 billion from 2020 through 2025 to bring internet access to more Americans. In addition to bringing fiber to more Americans' homes, we're committed to having these deployments to the schools, the libraries, and small town main streets. For customers, we launched Fios Forward. Eligible customers can get Fios for as little as $20 a month. For students, we have the Verizon Innovative Learning Platform. We've reached out to over 7 million students since its inception. And for small businesses, we have the Verizon Digital Ready platform. It's reached over 300,000 businesses. This platform enables businesses to get access to online curriculum that allow them to thrive in a digital economy. This is just some of the work that's being done, but there's more work to do. Accessibility. Of course, all this won't matter if our communities don't have access to it. And this is something we understood very early on at Verizon. In fact, 20 years ago last month, we installed the first ONT on a customer's house, and we kicked off this fiber transformation that is now flourishing today and continues to grow. We understand the power of fiber and the long-term value to customers and our networks. With over 1 million miles of fiber deployed, 17 million homes open for sale, we brought high-quality broadband to millions of customers. And that continues to grow each year. Now, yes, most of this has been in our urban and suburban areas, but 2 million of it is in our rural communities. And we continue to build out that fiber with our own investments, but also in partnership with the federal, the state, and local government programs. I have to say, the recent government activity has been a solid step forward and very needed for our rural communities. The Infrastructure Act's funding has been fast and has allowed states to each design programs that make sense for their own needs. In Massachusetts, they're using the program to help the state ensure the last few locations yet to be served are fully built out. Virginia put a huge investment through both its own funding and the IIJA's funding to build out some of its most challenging areas. States like Maryland and Delaware, they've built programs that encourage provider participation. And in localities and places like Onondaga, New York, Bedford, Virginia, Washington, Pennsylvania, we are working on deployments with the local residents who are informing what needs to be built because they really understand what needs to be done and what they need. We are proud to have partnered and to be part of these programs. What we are more proud of as well is where we have completed these builds. We've either been on time or ahead of schedule. This is so critical for us. And I cannot emphasize the urgency that we feel, and we all need to feel and hear, about bringing these benefits to these communities, their public safety organizations, their small businesses, and their educational institutions. And now we're looking forward to the BEAD opportunity. We know the states and the NTIA are working hard to finalize the rules. We hope they land in a place that'll allow experienced providers to participate at scale. It's critical that all these programs out there attract providers who can not only just build, but can be here for the long term to support these networks over the years to come. But there's more work to do. I don't want to diminish the great progress that we've all seen and that we're all excited about, but there's more that needs to be done, and it needs to be faster. All of us here today plays a role in this transformation. And we have a responsibility to bring broadband to all of these communities and to do it as fast and as efficiently as possible, because there's a student, there's a small business, and there's a family still waiting for it today. So what are some of the challenges that we face in the rural market? And I think we all know many of these. We have existing infrastructure. It's aging. It may need to be upgraded. It may need to be replaced. We have long cable spans, large serving areas, and very low population densities. So we have a few challenges. I like challenges. Challenges drive innovation. Challenges drive transformation. I know we will overcome these challenges, and we're going to create new and exciting improvements for these deployments. Let's look at some of the ways that we can help. Let's talk about the regulatory space. It's really, really critical here that we don't include so many restrictions that deters interest in these builds. Though there's a lot of discussion in this space about what is and what is not appropriate, I ask that we remember what is most critical about these programs is that they're designed to bring broadband to the underserved locations as fast as possible. Focus on what has worked, what is working, and really resist the urge to add any more burdens to these already challenging builds that are out there. From a construction efficiency standpoint, I think we can all agree nobody benefits from one provider being subsidized to go down a road here, a half a mile away being subsidized by another provider to go partway into a neighborhood. So we need to make sure we don't make our project areas too small. Where we can, we need to bundle these together to avoid redundant costs. This will enable providers to participate and build at scale. It will also mean a better and more consistent experience for the residents and the communities over the long term. Additionally, I encourage states to consider where the existing infrastructure is today, whether that be the central offices, whether that be the poles, the copper cables. We need to look at leveraging all of these assets so we can make our new builds scale more efficiently. When it comes to workforce, we've heard the workforce needs need to grow. Programs need to support those. We certainly need to grow our fiber workforce across the industry. But we also need to make sure we can upskill our existing workforces. So we would just say it's really important to make sure that we respect the labor rules that are out there today, and we really don't try to categorize skilled linemen, skilled fiber splicers as licensed electricians or vice versa. Finally, with many of these fiber runs being so long and in such difficult to reach places, we need to continue to look at our permitting processes and our make-ready processes. Often, there could be delays and difficulty getting access to private property. When there's multiple government agencies involved, we experience delays in permitting. So I ask for help here, and I ask everyone to think about whenever permitting requests can be done in bulk, can be done in an expedited fashion, that really needs to be considered. One too far. I don't think I have a back button. There we go, thank you very much. Let's not forget about the opportunities inside the engineering and operational spaces. Though we've seen great advancements over the last 20 years in both the fiber, the equipment, the installation processes, and the tools that are available to our workforces, we now need to turn our attention to focus these efficiencies on the rural challenges. Because all and many of our innovations up to this point have been on higher density, urban, suburban deployments. How do we get larger cables? How do we have larger fiber hubs? How do we lower the cost per prem? Focusing our energies now on developing the efficiencies for the rural network builds will help us accelerate this transformation and these deployments. At Verizon, for example, we've been pushing the PON network deeper and deeper into the field. This is letting us go 50% farther with our builds, reducing our cost per prem. We're also partnering with many of our suppliers to get smaller hubs. They're quicker, they're easier, they're cheaper. They can be installed in the ground faster, attached to poles, put in smaller pedestals, making installation faster and more efficient for everyone. When it comes to cables, we're looking for smaller and smaller cables that really meet the needs of the rural deployments. We use cables like the RPX cables, which are smaller, lighter, faster to install, can be attached to poles with simple clamps. This not only offers benefits through less expensive and faster installation, but it can cut down on the need for traffic control. and the disruptions that the communities get as part of that traffic control. These are only a few of the innovations that are out there that we've seen, that you guys have all generated. And we need more if we want to go even faster. Even with all this improvement, over the last 20 years, costs continue to rise for our rural deployments. Cost per prem can be 5 times to 10 times as expensive in our rural deployments. And if we're to accelerate this digital transformation and the prosperity that we know comes with it, then we have to start to focus on this cost per prem in the rural environment. So what else do we need to do? We need more innovation. We know transformation is the key. But I would say to all of you, that doesn't happen because somebody, someplace else, does it. It happens because each of us looks at the piece that we're working on and comes up with something transformative, something innovative. It's in each part of this larger puzzle that's out there that has to move forward. All of you are going to make the deployments faster, not somebody else. So we all need to work together. We need to ask ourselves, what can we do to help accelerate the deployment of fiber, to accelerate these benefits to these communities? So I ask you, when you're working on your piece, when you're looking at your part of this transformation, please ask yourself, am I making it go faster with the decision I'm making? Is my innovation helping? Is the rules being added going to speed the processes, make this cheaper, encourage more participation? And while you do that, keep in the back of your mind, there is a student, there is a small business, there's a patient, there's a small town, there's a family somewhere. It's counting on us, counting on you, counting on us as a collective to bring this prosperity to them at the end of the day. So, thank you all very much. Let's go build a lot of fiber, a lot more of it, and a lot faster and a lot more efficient. And I would just say, have a great rest of your day. And thank you guys for having me today.
Working hard to get my fill. Everybody